Elementary students in Alexandria, like Kyla, are more excited than ever to read.
The first book was The Cat Bandit, like steals fish, the catfish, hot dog, chicken nugget.
Alexandria has been working with the Central Regional Partnership Center and the Family and Community Engagement Center through the Educational Partnership to establish a system where it uses more data to drive instruction. Part of that work has been creating grade-level teams to evaluate specific student data, and then teachers and leadership can develop instructional plans to help students boost their academic performance.
It takes me about a month to finish a chapter book, and now it just takes me a few weeks, and I'll finish a chapter book and go up and get another one.
This is one of the data meetings.
One kid in particular is now on grade level, which is a huge jump. She jumped from well below, skipped over below, and now is on grade level with the rest of her students based off these data meetings. What we've discovered, what she needs, was a huge success.
One thing that we are doing is every day we're doing letter sounds. We started out with doing just the foundational basic sounds, and we're moving into more of the complex sounds like vowel digraphs and are controlled, and we're just every single day doing that because that was an area of weakness for the students, and we saw huge growth. Because we just added that little tidbit in the morning.
With these meetings, we're able to, track our fidelity and track, how are we doing? Do we need to adjust? And then actually see the data from that and be like, hey, this is working, or maybe, hey, it's not working. So that's been a really awesome thing for me.
From the very first data meeting that we had with grade level teams, I've just been increasingly impressed with the staff's willingness to work collaboratively together. And what we found is that it's led to tremendous student growth, and students are learning and they're excited, and our teachers are excited, and that makes me really, really happy as the building principal.
It can't be overstated. Students are loving books and even are learning techniques to help them remember what they read.
Highlighters help me learn what I learned and help me write.
Oh, and it helps you write too. Okay, but that way you're remembering what you're reading and then you can write about it?
Yes.
Fourth grader Kensley likes keeping track of her progress.
We had this bar chart when we were reading of how fluent we were. We got 1 minute to read, and we had to read as much as we could, and then we filled out a bar chart of how high we got on that one story.
They're able to see that growth, see, holy smokes, I got 20 more words this time. And they are so excited about it.
It felt really good to know that I'm doing good in school and I have really good reading progress.
Fourth graders also get a passage to read on Mondays. They read it in school and then practice at home for a few days. On Friday, the excitement happens.
What we did was we created a party. So our children left to go to special, and when they came back, the entire room was decorated with balloons. We had a microphone and a speaker, and we had music playing, and they came in to read their piece, and we said, it's Fluency Friday! And they were so excited. And so the first student, we made it in a wheel on the computer, so we spun the wheel, and that was the child that got to read first. And they came up with a microphone and they started to read, and you could tell they were a little hesitant at first. And then once they finished, and this was completely like not anything practiced, it was just organic. The entire fourth grade burst into laughter. They just were clapping, and it was so awesome. And from that moment on, that buy-in was there.
Fluency Fridays have encouraged the students to not only read better, but to actually memorize lines and even perform on stage. They recently performed The Garofalo, and it's similar in 5th grade, with kids having a passion for reading and performing in class.
Kids have enjoyed reading more, I feel like. I've seen this year from past years. In our small groups, we were reading chapter books. Some days, we'd pause and do an activity. They don't want to pause. They want to keep reading the books. They want to keep reading the next chapter. Even just recently with state tests, we were reading independent books after, and they didn't want to stop.
We've watched their fluency grow. And we noticed as we taught them, as we read with them, that it seemed to be having an impact. But when we had that data meeting and we got to see the data, and we actually there were numbers to back up what we were saying. And that was the most amazing thing.
Alexandria is seeing its data-based instruction pay off, not only in increased metrics and test scores, but as kids feel successful, they are encouraged to work harder in school.
One of the things that I've been so impressed with is I knew that we always had a hardworking staff, but the staff has really, now that they've become invested in their data, seen them grow from having an idea of how their students are doing to having a very accurate picture of how their students are doing because they're really looking at that data. It's caused them to celebrate and to become excited in the growth of their students. And then it's trickling down to their students because their students are getting excited about their own growth. So what it's done is it's transferred some of that ownership onto the students, and the students are very invested in how they are developing. So they're putting forth that hard work. And it's exciting when we do some of the progress monitoring and the students can't wait to get back to their classroom teacher to show them their growth.
I read like 1,000 books, like a lot.
And do you like reading all those books?
Yes,
Why do you like reading all those books?
because reading makes me smarter and smarter so I can become a teacher and grow up.